Hi everybody! Today I'm going to show you how I like to lace up my corsets, and you know, there's some pluses and minuses to this, but I kind of abhor the crossed lacing because it always comes loose and it irritates me. So I will get at it for anybody who's interested on how I like to lace up my corsets. Alright, first you want to get that first one strung through, and the lace is incredibly long. I originally did this tutorial thing with like a tennis shoe, but then I felt really bad and lazy, so I figured I would force myself to actually do it with a corset. Alright. Now you want to make sure that your strings line up. Like I have a huge gaping gap here on my length. And you don't want that problem later on with this particular lacing method. I don't think you really want it with any lacing method, but this one's really annoying because if you get all the way to the end and you're all cockeyed, you just have to unlace and start over because it's epic like that. So see if I got this obnoxiously long lace lined up. Not quite. Alright, now that we have them all lined up, you can start on either side. I'm going to start on this side and feed the thread through the grommet that's directly below the one it just came out of. And I always make sure that it's lying flat for this particular one. And then we're going to string it across, straight across to the grommet. Yeah, directly across from it. If you didn't get that already. And it lays flat. Now, there are different ways you can do this. You can skip to the next grommet down here for this string, but because I like for it to be tighter, doing it single laced for each grommet will make it looser. It'll make it easier for you to slide the string through the grommets and whatnot. Doing it where it's doubled up, which is what I'm going to do, makes it where it is actually tighter, and it's a little hard to lace up whenever you're doing it, but you also get the benefit of it, like when you tighten it, it stays tight. Like it doesn't just loosen up on you while you're in the middle of cinching down, which is one thing that I hate about the crossed ones. I find that it's constantly loosening up on me. So one other thing that can be a little annoying about this particular lacing is over the process of time. See, I make sure these are lying flat, but over the process of time, you're going to have to relace it if you want it to remain looking completely sleek, because here's one I've done before, and you can see some laces have twisted and whatnot, and it's not as sleek looking as it was, and I really kind of need to redo that one. But it also has been like 6 months since I did that lacing, so I've just been too lazy to do anything about it. So then I feed the one I just brought over into the grommet right below it. And you just keep doing this process all the way down to the bunny ears. So I'm going to go ahead and just do that real quick. Alright, well right about here is where someone would stop to do the bunny ears. Usually if you're going to put the bunny ears in the waist, I'm actually going to put it at the bottom. So I'm going to continue doing this all the way down. Otherwise, you would do what you would do here for the bunny ears. So yeah. Interesting fact, I've actually been tying my shoelaces in my tennis shoes like this for years, and so when I got a corset, I was like, hey, why can't I just try what I try on my shoes on these? And really, that's applicable for any style that's used to tie shoes can be used to lace up your corset. So if you're wanting to do something different, there's a lot of different tutorials out there about different lacing methods. I personally haven't seen one exactly like mine. That doesn't mean it isn't out there. I just haven't seen it. So I figured I would do it. Another thing about this lacing method is that I find it looks particularly flattering for someone who has to show their modesty panel, because there's some really cool lacing methods that look very, very awesome when the modesty panel is not being shown, but whenever it has to show, it kind of looks messy and it takes away from the coolness of the lacing. This one I like because it's clean all the way down. You know, it looks cool for those gals who are waist training down or accidentally bought a corset that was too small for them. That would be me on my green one. So, you know, I will never get that corset closed simply because my hips are just not that small. And I've left myself 3 holes, and I'm going to do the inverted bunny ears. They add more control and keep things taut, so I like that better whenever you're tightening. So you want to take this string, you just strung through this last hole, and you want to take it down to the second grommet on the other side. This is the only part of the corset on this particular design where you'll have crisscrossing. But if it's not showing, you know, if the modesty panel's not showing, then it won't really make a bit of difference. Then you want to take it into the grommet directly above it and string it in. This is for your actual bunny ear right here. You want to do the same for the other side. Take it to the second grommet below, string it up, and into the grommet above it. Leave room for your bunny ears. Then you're going to take this string that you still have and string it through the very bottom grommet on the other side. And likewise with this one. So, actually, oops, I kind of messed up, but oh well. And then you'll tie your ends into a knot, and once I get it done, call it good, just with a better knot than that. So that's how I've done my lacing in my corset. Note that the top part is the bottom actually. And I will show you what it looks like laced up later. Alright, so this is what the corset looks like when it's all laced up. And like I said, it can be harder, it takes longer to actually get this all laced up, especially since I put the bunny ears at the bottom. But I like the control and tightness that it keeps when I'm lacing up. And also another thing, because it's straight across, when I do have my bunny ears in the center where the waist is, it's much easier to actually tuck the bunny ears underneath these strings, because it's just like, okay, look, stuff, as opposed to trying to get it underneath all the X's and stuff. So I like that better too. So hope you guys like it, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.